All right, sweet. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Kimchi Chronicles live interview, and we have another special guest, and his name is Martin Kochenko. So
Sweet. Hey, everybody. Martin
awesome,
Kuchenko.
awesome, man. So he's a professional stunt performer, stunt actor, as well as he has his own company for his stunt crew. He posts super awesome content with kind of the tricks and a little bit of skits that he does, and it's doing really well. And he's even been sponsored several times and has appeared all over social media. So yeah.
Yeah. Hey, guys. Uh, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. So our team's called Three Takes or Less. We're a professional stunt crew here in Edmonton, Alberta, but we range anywhere from Vancouver, Toronto, all throughout Canada. We have members. But yeah, that's basically the intro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome, man. And yeah, viewers out there, I personally know Martin. We probably went to the same elementary, junior high, and high school. So it was definitely like a journey to actually see his growth and how things started. And it was I believe martial arts to tricking to breakdancing to overall just dancing in general and performing. And then all of a sudden, he decided to pursue tricking, and next thing you know, he's on Netflix and all over social media. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty. Yeah. No. We went to school together. Yeah. So it was elementary, junior high too, wasn't it? You went to
yeah,
HEB?
HE,
Yeah,
yeah,
so yeah, all throughout the same schools growing up. So yeah, St.
yeah.
Martha Elementary, HEB, junior high, Oscar Romero in high school.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's pretty
that's
awesome because I remember around 2008, 2009, that's when I was getting more exposed to the breakdance or the b-boy community. And
Mhm.
I remember you were in the back of the bus and we had the same bus back home, and you're watching, like, it was a BOTY, and you're showing like some crew last for one or something. I don't know. And I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah,
holy
last
crap,
for one.
this is
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. I remember it was the last for one. It was last for one 2005.
Oh my
And
God, you know.
no, I remember because I actually I remember Tayo with the
Yeah,
mud ears and he was locked up.
yeah,
I was literally talking to him about that the other day.
that's crazy.
Yeah, because it was his 15th anniversary or something like that
Holy crap.
of that performance. And so he like
Yeah.
threw back to it on Facebook. And I messaged him. I was like, "Hey man, like I want you to know that this is like one of the first videos that I've ever seen, and like I've never thought that I'd meet you number one and be friends with you like
Yeah.
number two. So it's like it's crazy. Yeah,
That's
it's
sick,
it's,
man.
it's been a long journey, man. Yeah,
Well, we're gonna have to do we're gonna have to practice together soon. It's gonna be fun.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That's when I'm back in Edmonton though. So it's
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah. Where are you right now?
well, right now I'm back in Edmonton, but all my stuff is based out of Toronto right now. So
Uh
it's like I'm like back and forth Toronto, Vancouver, Calgary,
yeah.
Edmonton. So it'll be fun. It'll be
So
fun.
when did you usually go to Toronto? Like
Uh,
back before the pandemic? Like how often?
I was actually living there.
What?
Yeah,
No one even knew.
yeah, I know. I didn't really want to make it any like public. It's just because like I was back in Alberta so often that um it almost didn't matter if I was in Alberta, but technically I was
Right.
living in Toronto.
Yeah.
We also have a spot in Vancouver as well, so
Yeah.
I'd be in Vancouver for a month, be back in Edmonton because I can work in Calgary for a month or two, and then from there I'd go to Toronto for 2 months and come back, do a job in Calgary, go to Vancouver, do a job in Vancouver, fly back to Toronto, so on and so forth.
Holy crap.
So it's been pretty busy.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
I haven't been to Toronto yet, man. Like I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, man, come visit.
Well, I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
come along when you go, man.
yeah, man, no, definitely. Honestly, though, it's kind of sucky because of the whole pandemic right now. My lease is up, so I technically don't have a spot in Toronto anymore after the pandemic.
Ah,
So like, I got to figure out life right now. Yeah.
yeah.
So who knows? Who knows?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's something everyone is going through right now. So, um, but yeah, tell us a little bit about your backstory, your entire story, how it all began, and what was that moment that came to realization, like this is what I need to do.
All right. So backstory, I guess. Yeah, you're right. So it started off with martial arts. I ended up getting like my second degree black belt in Taekwondo. But then from there, I remember YouTube was just becoming a thing around 2006, 2007, and there was a video there called Urban Ninja with Jin Wuku. Uh, that video honestly kickstarted everything. It was that, and then a video after that was called Friday Night Madness by Team Ryoko, which is a bunch of martial artists doing flips, people doing like what were called parkour at the time, or we
Yeah.
didn't know if it was called parkour at the time, so it was just like flips and like wall flips and all that stuff. So yeah, we ended up going to Capital City Gymnastics and started training there all the time. And then it was just like it was fun for a good couple of years, and then I met Sean Arcetta through YouTube actually, and I realized that he was in Edmonton. So then
No way.
yeah, I remember like I thought YouTube
Wow.
was this big thing, and I was like, oh damn, this guy's from Edmonton. I should meet up with him. So I remember busing all the way to the stadium at the time, practicing with him, and from there, that's kind of where I fell in love with like breaking. Um, and then for a good solid number of years, breaking was such a big part of my life because of America's Best Dance Crew was a thing then too.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
like we
Fuck
ended up
yeah.
making our crew called Emerge back then, and it was just for a good number of years too. We were doing performances, we were doing all these stuff, we were doing battles, performances, and it was just a lot of fun. And like when I look back on that time, I just it was fun. If I'm being honest with you, that was like as stressful as some of those things were, and as much as like there was all these like whatever, it was just fun back then. There wasn't any. I never thought that I could do a career out of it. And then I don't know, man. If I'm being honest with you, that's like around that time was when I started to train tricking again. During
Right.
the end of that, after dancing with the core for a little bit, and then from there, I guess I fell into parkour somehow. I don't remember how, but I ended up teaching parkour somehow, and then from there, I ended up teaching parkour for like 3 or 4 years, and then I hurt my knee. And then
Right.
from there, when I hurt my knee, I remember a lot of my family members and like friends are telling me to stop doing what I'm doing so I could focus on a real job or whatever.
Fuck. A real
And
job. Fuck.
yeah, I know, right? And then I remember at that time, one of like I remember that that time, I was thinking to myself, I was like, do I do this or do I prove them wrong and just
Yeah.
go for it? So that was 2014. 24. That was yeah, 2014. I was
Fuck.
like, screw everybody. I'm gonna prove everybody wrong. I'm
Yeah.
gonna make a career out of this. So then
Yeah.
from there on in, it just kind of just had a goal. I had a goal. I was like, I want to be proud of what I do. I don't want to wake
Mm.
up when I'm 40 and be like, hey man, I had all this potential. I had all these skill sets that I never used with anything, and I just decided to keep working with it. I'm still working on it. If I'm being honest with you, I'm still
Yeah.
working on it. I'm still
Right.
trying to be better than I was yesterday. But yeah, that's pretty much where it went. Like
Yeah.
I'm kind of just if I'm being honest with you, these last
Yeah.
couple of years have been kind of a blur, and it's just kind of everything's getting better and better. So
So what was that transition like from 2014 all the way till 2019?
oh boy, so
Yeah, because I know you did a lot of projects, but I'm sure it was not easy.
honestly, if I'm being honest with you, so in 2014 I tore my knee, I tore my ACL, my MCL, uh,
Yeah.
falling off stairs actually was like super stupid. Like out of everything, I fell off stairs and I like hyperextended and snapped. So yeah, that took me back a year, and then I was misdiagnosed that entire year because they told me I did not need surgery. So the year after, I tore it again. So 2014,
Oh man.
2015, I was basically injured. I was just practicing like basic stuff. 2016 is when I got my surgery, and I remembered right after my surgery, I was like, you know what, like I'm gonna come back even stronger. So then 2016 to 2017, I was training. All I did was train, and then everything kind of started hitting up for me in 2018. So
Right.
really, if I'm being honest with you, this is kind of recent for me. So like
Yeah.
2014 and 2017, 20 like those 3 4 years of just built up training and working out, trying to get stronger so it doesn't happen to me again.
Right.
Yeah, honestly it's been such a blur. There's like
Yeah.
knee injuries, car accidents, lots of setbacks with my ankles and my wrists. But I'm if I'm being honest with you, that kind of was good for me because now I'm able to see what my body's like, and I have more control over my body. So
That's right.
yeah.
Definitely. And for our viewers out there, like most of them are entrepreneurs and business owners. So I'm sure like the kind of things that they want to kind of learn and take away from this video is like number one, the mentality, so the perseverance that you did, obviously, and number two is like the more of the pragmatic approach in terms of business.
Hmm.
So I guess we could definitely crush out the first part, which would be like the mindset. So,
Yeah.
I mean, as cliche as it sounds, I mean the journey is a squiggle, right? But
Oh, 100%.
I
Yeah.
mean, what kind of things that you provide to our viewers? What are the top two advices you can give them on an internal approach?
Oh, internally, honestly, like I don't know, man. Like I, uh, I have this big thing about when I was little is it's called it's a Japanese proverb. Translated, it translated it's fall seven, rise eight, and basically it's you fall down seven times, you get up eight, and that's always something that's always been like ingrained in my head.
Yeah,
Like it's one of those things where it's like if everybody's putting you down, like you kind of just gotta pick yourself up and just keep going and like believe in yourself. I guess that's the biggest thing is really
yeah,
believe in yourself that you can do it. I know it's harder, it's easier said than done because like there are days for myself too that I feel like I can't do it. I feel like I'm not good enough. Imposter syndrome kicks in. But
right.
you just gotta look back on what you've done and look back at how far you've come and just keep going for it. Like tuning out, I guess, tuning out the voices that don't matter really helps and realizing that. So I mean, mentally, honestly, like I know it's really unhealthy, but one of my biggest mental aspects was trying to prove people wrong.
Right.
So that's me. Like, is it the healthiest? No. Is
Mm.
it getting to me where I am? Yeah. Do I think I'm actually using it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever floats your boat, I guess.
I mean, as long as it's moving you forward.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
Right.
you know, deal with it. And honestly, if
Yeah.
I'm being honest with you, like if you guys are stressed, go to a therapist.
Mm.
Like they really help because like even though you might not feel a certain way, but a therapist can really also unravel a lot of things in your head. And from there, you can start seeing where things make sense. You
Mm.
can be really emotionally attached to one thing, and then you don't realize that emotional attachment is actually holding you back. So I would, I would go to a therapist.
Definitely.
Even if you're healthy, even if you think you're healthy, go to a therapist. It's nice to
Right.
talk to someone about it, and it's nice to be able to like unravel a lot of things. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And even a fast car still needs oiling and maintenance. So
Exactly. That's a great analogy. Yeah,
yeah.
that's a super great analogy. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Right. Because you could be going like 200 kilometers an hour and you're like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna get to my goal in like fucking 2.5 hours. And then
Hmm.
you don't know if the RCMP is fucking waiting there to ticket you, or
Yeah,
your oil burns out, or your fucking wheels pop, and that's just like life, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and
You
it's
gotta
just
have a wingman, shotgun.
yeah, yeah. You gotta have that AMA, roadside assistance.
Yeah, man, fuck.
But yeah, no,
Um,
that's actually a great analogy. Yeah,
yeah,
like don't I know, yeah, like physical health is one thing, mental health is definitely one thing that you should have. Being mentally strong is huge, and
right.
I didn't start seeing the value of that until these last honestly this last year. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow, that's so recent.
Oh, honestly, yeah, no, it's super recent. Like it's one of those
Yeah.
things where it's like you build up your schedule so much, and I know for entrepreneurs and for people that are really going for it, it's that you build
Oh,
up
it's
your schedule
packed.
so much, and
Yeah.
you're so busy every day, and you're always focused on the next thing. You're always focused on the next thing. You never really stop and think and take care of your body. So it's one of those things like this pandemic, which is nice, like I was saying earlier, is that it's really allowed me myself to take a break and to kind of see and like stop and smell the roses and see like everything that I've done and everything that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So it's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty crazy because including myself, like I probably had probably 4 burnouts in the past like 20 months.
Yeah. So
Kept
it's yeah,
pounding the pavement, and it was just
yeah.
trying to force a cube through a circle, and I got
Hmm. Hmm.
through, but now the whole fucking thing's damaged.
Exactly, and that's why you gotta really just take it easy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Yeah,
that's actually a great.
right. Oh, and awesome, Justin Salcedo.
What's up,
It's
Justin?
good. East Town homies. Emerge shit. And then Mary, what's poppin'? Awesome, awesome. So yeah, those are some pretty good insights from Martin. He's recently experienced, and those are the kind of things that he can share with you guys. So if you're right about to hit that corner, then really, 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 really good opportunity to kind of take it in and take that long break. And I'm sure this pandemic's helped a lot of people like reassess about their movements and like especially with us entrepreneurs, we tend to have scatterbrain syndrome, which is basically you
Yep.
chase 20 rabbits, you catch none because everything looks like a shiny object. So,
Yeah, that's a great analogy actually. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
no, that's yeah.
sweet. So, in terms of getting to where you are, I'm sure with doing your movie set gigs and whatnot, I guess on a networking approach, what would that look to your I guess entrepreneur? What would that look like in terms of how do you get the right connections? How do you close the deals? How do you
Uh,
also like you're that person they want to work with as
yeah.
opposed to the 20 other people trying to take the spot, take the gig.
So I've actually been asked this before, and I don't know, man. Like, I guess be yourself, be humble. Like, don't. I guess like my mentality for a lot of things is that I'm below a lot of people. Like I'm like I don't ever think that I'm better than one other person. So I'm always just like asking questions. I'm always asking stuff, and I guess a big thing too is don't be afraid. Like if you have a question, like obviously you ask it respectfully, but like you're never gonna know the answer if you don't ask, right? It could be no. The
Right.
worst thing they could say is no. Um, like I've gotten rejected a lot of times in the industry, and it being rejected and having that I guess fortitude, mental fortitude is very very helpful. But in terms of my industry, at least, like I made a lot of my connections just by traveling. Traveling's a huge
Mm.
thing, and like I like bless b-boying, bless breaking, bless tricking, bless like this whole parkour stuff. But you meet a lot of cool people with a lot of stuff, like in at these gatherings, at these jams,
Uh,
at these competitions, and that's like kind of like the best place that you can go. Like all those years that I was traveling and training, like we'd go to Fit Fest in LA, I'd go to Loop Kicks in San Jose,
that's sick.
I'd be at Hooked, I'd be at Australian Chicken Gathering, I'll be at like Red Bull BC one in Toronto. Like
Oh
it's
my
things like
god.
that. It's like things like that, and it's just you kind of just meet people, and yeah, just be yourself. As long as you're not a dick about stuff, like
Right.
just stay humble, stay all that. Like it's I know it's really like cliched, but yeah, stay humble. I guess like
Right. Right.
that's yeah.
So how
Be
much
genuine. Sorry, be genuine. That's what it is. Be genuine.
right.
Yeah, because people can see through if you need something from them, and
Hmm.
that's the thing. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And I find a lot of salespeople or entrepreneurs, whatever, or they tend to not I tend to notice them or they notice themselves that like they have a very agenda seeking kind of vibe, and then
Mhm.
when they approach you or fuck even message you, you already know the pattern. It's like, oh
Yeah.
god, he wants to meet at Starbucks, he's got an opportunity.
I was gonna say,
I'm
yeah, I
like,
got an
oh
opportunity.
my god.
Yeah. Hey, you want to retire by the time you're 30? It's like, no,
Hmm,
I don't want to keep
really,
working. Yeah, it's like
this
great.
guy's 32,
Yeah,
why is he still trying to sell me?
yeah, exactly. It's one of those
Right.
things. Yeah, as long as like, yeah, it's be genuine. I guess like you don't want people to do that to you, kind of thing. So why would you like don't
Right.
expect anything less from anybody else, kind of thing. Like
Right.
honestly, like a lot of these connections that I've made, I didn't even mean to like do it in like a movie in like a networking sense. I did it because like I legitimately wanted to learn from someone. So like at a tricking gathering, I legitimately wanted to learn like certain moves or certain mindsets. So like then we just hung out and all that stuff. And then yeah, just different
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what would be the quote for every like in terms of your stunt gigs? Because I know you've been in a couple gigs and some Netflix shows. What would be the average prices that you would charge?
Oh boy, is this a union shoot or a non-union shoot? And what am I doing?
I have no idea what that is.
So, for those of that aren't in the know, stunt performers as like industry, like we're unionized. It's just because we do a lot of dangerous stuff on set. Um, and I guess depends on the production, and depends on like the credits and all that stuff. But typically, like you'll get a day rate as a stunt performer, and that depends on the production itself. And then you'll get your hourly rate, which also depends on the production, also depends of your union. And then you'll get what's called an adjustment, or in some places called a bump, or yeah, something like that. So the adjustment or the bump is dependent on what you're doing on set that day.
Ah,
So, for instance, can I talk about that? I don't know if I can talk about that one, but
that's
there's
okay.
one set that I had to jump down 10 feet, land on my knee, like superheroes landing,
Yeah.
and onto concrete. Um,
Ah,
they told me I had no pads or anything like that, so I all I had like was just like a really soft knee pad, like a volleyball knee pad. So they asked me to do that twice, but then I didn't mess up. The camera people messed up, or the actors messed up.
ah,
So then we ended up doing that another 11 times.
fuck.
And by like the fifth time, my foot was hurting. Like my knee was definitely hurting. Like it doesn't matter. Like sure, I could jump down like once or twice, but after like 6 takes, multiple times, it's gonna take a toll on your body. So it's I asked for a bump. So the bump was X amount of money for each take that we do after. So honestly, like it honestly depends. Like for our stunt company at least, if we're doing the fight choreography, if we're doing the fight choreography, the stunt coordinating, the safety, if we're providing all like the props and everything, if you want us to film and all that stuff, everything differs. And like with our stuff, because Edmonton's not a very film centric location, unlike Calgary is, we're very like we're very flexible with our prices. So
Right.
yeah, it honestly just depends. If you have any questions about anything, just let us know. It really depends on what you want us to do, kind of thing.
Definitely. Yeah. So for viewers out there that might be thinking about doing these kind of things or just overall just entering into the tricking game, then feel free to reach out to Martin. I'll put his handle right here if I can find it. Oh, here it is. So awesome, man. So right before we wrap this up, just one last little thing. So in terms of your networking, which is coming off in a very genuine approach, and overall, like it seems that things are just coming to you
Mhm.
when you don't have an agenda, and then especially with carrying on the whole the kind of the mentality that you need, throughout the whole entire journey, and just like kind of like going against the grain and just making sure that you do what you feel is right, despite having everyone against you, you versus the world. What would be what would be your main I guess advice for the overall journey? Because I know that you're still on it right now, and especially with this pandemic. But what can you take away or provide for our guests?
Fall seven, rise eight. Every time you get down, every time like success is like this.
Right.
It's all over the place. So honestly, like every time you fall, remind yourself what your goal, what you're doing, or why you're doing it, and just keep going. Like that's pretty much it. If I can be honest with you,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the biggest thing. Just keep going.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Wow. So everyone just keep fucking going, man. Even
yeah,
anything, like the first 2 weeks of this pandemic, I fucking lost my mind. Like I had to shut down shop. I was like fucked, and like I had no income. But despite those kind of hurdles, I was able to later realize like, holy crap, this is a blessing in disguise. Because now I was able to actually reassess a lot of things, like being scatterbrain, seeing what's working and seeing what's wasting my time, and just overall just like rather than being a flashlight, it's laser concentrated focus at this point. And I've seen a lot of benefits of being having an online presence and taking your offline business to the online world, and just a lot of things that you have not been seeing just because of these blind spots, right? So
yeah,
awesome. So yeah, do you have anything else to add on?
yeah. So we actually had a short film that we filmed back in September. It's called Battle for the Bill.
Mm-hmm.
It's about a group of friends that are fighting over who gets to pay the bill, and it's a very like it's an homage to like the old school kung fu movies from back then.
Right.
So it's coming out this Friday, I believe, and then today's May the 4th, and we actually filmed the Star Wars fight.
That's
Um,
sick.
we just literally it was uploaded right before we started this interview, so I'll link to Kim right now. I'll link it
Yeah,
here.
let's grab that link.
Yeah, it literally just finished. I haven't seen it yet. Like we
Yeah,
filmed this like a couple before the pandemic hit. No, it was a couple weeks ago. So yeah,
right.
and then yeah, so it's yeah, there's that. So
Hmm.
that's we have a couple projects on the way.
Hmm.
Um, I can't talk about the other ones because of
Okay. Sure.
non-disclosures. You know, like
Yeah.
these are the
Right.
more public ones. So yeah,
Right. Right. Right.
so like yeah,
So, because you're building your YouTube channel with your company, you got all this
yeah.
content. What's your goal? Is it to get product placements? Is it get sponsors, or is it just cause?
So our goal is to build a community in Edmonton. Our goal is to get Edmonton on the map for a lot of stuff, and is to get opportunities for people that don't want that didn't have that didn't have the opportunity to get it right away, rather than having to go out to Calgary, rather than having to go out to that. It's like there's a lot of talent in Alberta, there's a lot of talent in Edmonton, but what I found personally, not just in film, not just in tricking,
Right.
not just martial arts, but in dance, like breaking, like tricking, like in a lot of places, a lot of people leave Edmonton to go somewhere else
That's
to
right.
pursue that. And a big thing for us is getting that visibility to Edmonton to show that a lot of homegrown talent is here. So there's big companies here. There's companies like like BioWare, for instance.
Right.
BioWare is a huge like video game company, and like they would usually outsource a lot of their video game projects to Vancouver, to LA, and stuff for motion capture. So getting that visibility out here in Edmonton would be able to provide like a lot of people that didn't have that opportunity before, that same opportunity. Obviously, like my goal, like my ulterior motive, is to be proud of what I'm doing, is to be in the movies and shows that I want to do. There are
Mm,
tons of times that I see a lot of like TV shows and I'm like, hey man, like I totally could have done that better. And I'm like, man, they could have hired us instead. So I was like,
yeah.
screw it. Rather than waiting for them to hire us, let's just make our own opportunity. Let's just do it ourselves.
Right.
So that's kind of where we're at. So yeah, that's the goal. Is just that visibility. Like I don't having that community will be nice. Having that
Definitely.
community and having people train together, having all that stuff is nice. Like after LA,
Hello. I think your mic turned off. Hey, I can't hear you.
hello.
There we go. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Oh,
Yeah, you cut off the last 10 seconds.
okay, yeah. Yeah, no, there's a lot of money in like the film industry, like outside money that could really like that a lot of small businesses can really take advantage of. So yeah, building that community and having something like this like really segues a lot into it.
Right.
So
Right. So
damn, yeah, sorry.
so I guess theoretically, like let's say this community is building up in the next 2 years for Edmonton,
Mhm.
and I mean you got like people that are getting in that can finally put their dreams into realization in terms of like let's say acting, and like I mean like even Jerry, he's pursuing his
Mhm.
acting career, and
Mhm. Mhm.
that's a big thing because if they were to able to have a community or a hub spot in Edmonton,
Mhm.
likely I guess in terms of like marketing campaigns, let's say a business owner wanted to shoot their own commercial, then they would be able to pick you guys up.
100%, and that's like kind of where we're at right now. Is that if you want us to shoot commercials, just give us a give us a talk to. Like we're not
Yeah,
super unreasonable with everything. Like we have the camera gear, we have the talent, we have the editing like talent, we have everything. So it's just give us a talk to, and we'll make something happen. We're more in it for the community and for the visibility, just because we know small business owners. It's hard, especially to spend a lot of money on marketing.
that's
But if
right.
you look at movies like Jumanji or Ghostbusters, you have one of those guys come in, even just one, like immediately inject so much money into the economy because of that. Because they need like caterers, they need local people to work their sets as grip, they need like just a lot of things that you just don't ever think about. So
Right,
yeah.
right. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Even just one last thing, like even like a small like province in the east, let's just say Newfoundland, right? They're
Mhm.
they're hurting in terms of their travel and tourism. So
Mhm.
they're able to have a budget like that, and I'm sure they have a budget.
Mhm.
I guess then your team would still be able to, I guess, film like something about like with their scenery or their tourism, and you guys can actually like do those kind of things.
100%, yeah, 100%.
Wow.
That's where we are. Yeah, that's we're right now. We're just kind of focusing on everything. Like I think a lot of the reason why our social media stuff kind of hits is because we're fans of the stuff that we make too, and
Ah,
that's the whole genuine thing that I was talking about. So like if someone does like say for instance our Naruto video, our low budget Naruto video, if you ever watched Naruto and you tried doing that, you could tell that that was not very genuine. But because we
yeah,
watched Naruto, because we were fans, it was like okay, well no, it's genuine because like these guys know all the ins and outs and like the nuances and everything. So that's yeah, that's kind of what it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I actually really enjoy watching all your content.
Thanks. Yeah.
I'm
Thanks,
a
man.
fan as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet you guys were like during the filming, you guys fucking would die halfway through, right?
Oh my god, yeah. Like there's if you watch a lot of the behind the scenes, like a lot of the ideas that come to mind, they they
On the
just like
spot.
it's so yeah, it's on the spot and it's like oh, it's so stupid. Like the amount of times I've heard like Darren, one of our team members, say
Right.
that's so that's so stupid. I don't think like I don't get it. Like I would be rich right now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, well, we have like a lot on the way, so I know like a lot of our short films are fun because they're not creatively constrained by like bigger budgets. So yeah, I'm excited.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Awesome. I guess that wraps it all up. So
thank you.
if anyone here wants to get some pointers from Martin, like hit him up. We'll have his Instagram handle down below, or message him on Facebook or add him. I think if he can still add friends, I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure you can still add friends.
Right.
Yeah,
Just delete someone and then add them.
now you're good. You're good. Of
Awesome. I really appreciate your time, and thanks for being
course,
on and sharing your background and your advice.
of course, man. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for having me. All
Awesome.
right,
See you guys
see you
next
later.
episode.